All right, we're back here for our third and final feature match, week 5 for XLB1 League. We got Cody-Rayce back with us. Justin's going to be looking at his hand, and he's playing against Zeke. So this is actually a rematch from 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we didn't get too much of a competitive match. Zeke had some mana problems, mulligans. The match was very, very quick, and we see that it was supposed to be an elimination match for Zeke at 10 losses, but with his loss just an hour ago or so, Cody-Rayce is also at 10 losses. So we got a good old fashioned death match here. Both players at 10 losses, fighting to stay alive, and they're both off to starts that it would seem they would want to be doing. Uh, Cody-Rayce seems he has a forest in play, so does that mean he changed his deck around here?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. It looks like
Okay.
he kept the white, but has substituted it for the black for green. He also was running the Hiri, which I don't think he was running last match.
Okay, maybe he's gone for his more planeswalker heavy build, perhaps, or just a color change. We'll have
Yeah,
to
I
see.
mean, he probably just figures like I'm on 10 losses. Maybe I'll just play what I want to play as opposed to the format wanting me to play.
Yeah, that is a frequent thing when people get to 10 losses. They just build the deck they've wanted to build. So here comes Kaido. Zeke
Okay.
has rares and lands in his hand. So he has three
Okay.
lands and he has a Caramonix, the Rat King. But more importantly, he has a Blue Sun's Twilight in hand.
Ah, yes. The powerhouse that is that card.
Yeah, so he's going to use his Kaido here. The Throwing Bird is actually going to put an extra counter even on Kaido, allowing it to activate a second time to make a 2/2 that he will most certainly use to block this dude mover. Yeah, so the only downside of this is that he can't activate it twice next turn, but he'll be able to replay the Thrumming Bird and the Caramonix from his hand, and he'll be able to activate the Kaido. So
Yeah, not too bad.
yeah, and unless he's got like a Tyvar stand or something here, Cody can't really keep his two mover alive against a Death Touch creature. So what are
Yep.
the follow ups looking like here?
Oh, he could play Nahiri, but that would result. He need to pay 2 life for that. He's playing. He's choosing to play the Indoctrination Attendant. And I think he does have a trick in hand. It's Titanic Growth and the Westerlands.
Okay, so he'll probably try to at least attack into this Kaito here, but so here comes the Rat King. No rats to speak of, just some black and blue cards. So yeah, he's splashing red for something. Haven't seen it yet, but deck
Yeah.
appears to be based black blue. And another color combo we haven't seen too much in the future matches or in the league at all, really. Um,
Yeah.
it ended up being one of the least popular archetypes. Well, just blue in general, but specifically blue black was on the lower end of the decks people were happy to draft, and as a result, haven't seen it much in league either.
Well, blue black takes very specific cards to be made to be okay. Whereas the toxic deck and oil decks, it's a lot easier to put together, and also the cards are generally okay on their own.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to be able to use this Titanic growth to just get this Kaido off the board. Yeah.
It's not even
So
that bad.
yeah,
Kaido Kaido did quite a bit. It technically traded for a Dune Mover and got Titanic Growth, so he's still up on cards because of this Planeswalker.
yeah. So Zeke has a Skull Dweller here. He's and next turn he'll be able to play his Blue Sun's Twilight for X=5, which is the mode that takes the creature but also makes a copy of it, which completely crazy effect here.
Does it only target creatures?
I'm fairly certain it only hits creatures, but Indoctrination Attendant's a pretty good one to take, and then you get to make a second one of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, with other spells, if he had other spells in hand, Zeke might be able to wait for maybe like going to play like a real bomb creature to be able to take with the Blue Sun's Twilight. But with only lands in hand, he's just gonna have to take whatever he can get. Which I mean, taking an indoctrination instead of making a token, still just an excellent effect. So here's Nahiri, a
Yeah.
card we really haven't seen at all. I mean, definitely not in the future match, but very rarely, even in draft, I don't see it be played very much. Has
Yeah, it's definitely not a powerhouse Planeswalker.
it seems very fair at the least. So yeah, so it's activated on this Caramonic. So the Caramonics must attack a player, so it can't attack Nahiri, and that was all well and good, but unless Cody's got a Tyvar down here, which he doesn't, the best priority. This is going to be a hard one to get back from. I mean, maybe he can draw his White Sun's Twilight that we saw him open from his last loss, but
moments ago. Yeah,
yeah, this is this is what the Twilight does. This is you know like
and I
Blue
hear
Sun's
you know here.
Twilight is one of the premium reasons to want to be blue. Absolutely.
Yep, it's definitely it's probably not as good as the white one, but it's definitely the second best in the cycle.
Oh yeah, it warps the game. It doesn't kind of straight up end the game more or less on the spot like the white one does, but it warps the game for sure and gives you an insane advantage here, as we can see. So what are Cody's options here?
Well, he's
Because
drawn Crawling Chorus and Flensing Raptor. At this point in the game, like the Flensing Raptor is okay, but Crawling Chorus again, really not a card you want to see on like turn 6 or 7. It's not like the best top deck.
yeah, I'm not going to cut it against just these big bodies here on the other side, or maybe not big, but bigger than what Cody has. I mean, if Cody can get a steady stream of spells here, he might be able to come back in this, but
Yeah,
Zeke's got a really good draw here, Vivisurgeon's Insight. So another card that's kind of been a slow card that doesn't get to see play often, but here he just gets to draw 3 cards, and he's drawn a Volt Charge and 2 more card draw spells. So I think I could come to enjoy and appreciate this deck of Zeke's here.
yeah, definitely different. Nahiri is going to be ignored completely.
Yeah, he just
Uh,
doesn't. Yeah, the Harry, it doesn't really have an ultimate. It has a minus X where you could bring back a creature for a turn, basically, and then it
I
goes
think so.
away.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to work with the Firmiridan because you bring back the Firmiridan equipment, the equipment goes away, but you keep the 2/2. But even then, it's not like a crazy effect. So yeah, so
Yeah.
after combat, Zeke's going to be able to cast his Distorted Curiosity for 1 mana to draw 2 more cards because
Yes. The hidden mode of this card that you almost never see.
well, he got to 3 poison by casting the Vivisurgeon's Insight. So
Yeah.
I think we call that a combo, perhaps. Just draw 5 cards and see what you get. Yeah, so he's got the Infectious Inquiry, Volt Charge, and 4 more lands. But Cody needs something, and he needs it real fast because he's only got 1 blocker here versus 5 attackers.
Yeah. He does. He has like he's drawn Complete Devotion again. Just all these cards that he's drawing just very ineffective when you're behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess he can, quote unquote, cycle it, as we say.
Yes,
Just
he
cast
could.
it to draw a card and see what else he can pick up here. But
Okay,
so
so he hovered over his Hunter's Maze to draw a card, but I have a feeling he could just use Nahiri that first, and he will. He's still deciding.
yeah, I mean, he can't really expect that he's gonna stay alive here. Like he has 1 blocker versus 5 attackers, and the opponent has 6 cards in hand. So presumably, technically, if nothing changes, he would take 7. But we see a Volt Charge here.
Okay, so he actually can use Nahiri to discard the Complete Devotion because over the 7th land, mostly because he has the White Sun's
Yeah, so
Twilight. So
yeah,
that
and I mean that might as well just get your cast Complete Devotion without having to cast it. Pretty good.
yeah.
All right, so a second Volt Charge is just gonna wrap this game up. Oh no, well he actually only has 1 red mana, so technically
He's dead on board to poison.
technically he just dies to the poison as well. Yes, so poison, and he goes to 1 and goes to 10. So all right.
Yeah, Zeke just kind of just drew a lot more cards and just got ahead in that fashion.
Yeah, he affected the board. He put Kaido into play, which caused at least a small diversion from Cody being able to attack his opponent. And then we saw the card draw spell come down, draw more card draw, and the Blue Sun's Twilight definitely pushed the game in his favor, and the card draw spells put it over the top. So nice to see like a blue kind of like controlling ish type of deck have some success here. So especially in week 5 when some of these toxic decks are at the height of their powers. So yeah, nice one here. So yeah, so his red splashes is the 2 volt charges, 2 serum core chimeras. That looks like it. I don't see all of his 2 drops, but there could be something in there too. I don't think he made any changes, so he's gonna ship it back here. So I guess you're getting a good look at Cody-Rayce's deck now. So
Yeah,
is it? Yeah.
he tuned it to be white green, toxic,
Okay.
and he's splashing. Well, he took out the Nahirian sideboard,
Okay.
but he's splashing 2 volt charge and a Luca now.
Okay. Did you see any other like green rares that would have pushed him in that direction, like to change to from
I
black?
bel I didn't see anything noticeable. I
Okay.
think I might have seen the Spinoderm, but that
Okay.
might be it.
Yeah, I believe his black rare from before. I believe he had Vraska. I'm not sure what else
Yeah.
he had in black. All right.
Okay.
So
So
what's Cody's
Cody's
hand
gonna.
looking like here?
Well, he doesn't have white or green technically, but
Okay.
he has the Seed Core, which does a pretty stand-up
Yeah,
job
for
at
creatures.
casting
Yeah.
all the creatures. Yeah. So he could cast Calling Chorus with the Seed Core
Okay.
into a Bladed Ambassador, and if he finds one other land, he could cast a Contagious Borak. So he has
Okay.
like quite
So
a nice looking curve here.
yeah, Zeke has kept a hand that requires his opponent to not get off to a fast start here because he's got some card draw spells here. So he's got an experimental augury, which he's going to cast before he untaps. He has a distorted curiosity. He has 2 Kaidos. He has 2 4 drops and a volt charge. So not another land, but he basically is experimental. He's gonna take a land here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did not draw a land. He at least drew something to play,
Yeah,
but
and he will be able to protect his bladed ambassador here from the volt charge, which is the only thing Zeke can really cast. I mean, he can cast his divination, but he'll have to discard a card and tap out. So I assume he's intending to cast his volt charge this turn, hoping maybe Cody taps out after the attack here.
well, his land situation makes it so he actually can't
Oh no!
because he drew a tap land. Uh, with
Yeah,
I feel like Cody's probably thinking it's a bane, but at the moment it's quite a boon.
yeah. He picked up like he moused over his volt charge to cast, and then he's like, wait, I don't, I can't kill the thing I want to kill, and I don't want to kill the other ones. So I don't know if Cody has removal here, but the Serum Core Chimera is going to come down, and he's going to try and start churning
He
through
does.
churning through some oil here.
He does actually. He has Ruthless Predation, so he could Ruthless Predation basically with anything as long as he seed cores the 1/1.
Oh
And
yes, he has the corrupted, so he can activate the Seed Core. So I imagine
actually,
he'll I imagine he'll see that.
is that lethal? No, it's 8 damage.
It's going to
But
be 8 here. So yeah, this is kind of the drawback of the blue decks is like if you don't affect the board early, this kind of happens sometimes. Like this is one of the reasons why people have gravitated away from blue a lot of the time, just because these decks get on board so quick here. Yeah, so
it,
I don't think he has a card here. He has a draw here that's gonna be able to block everything. Yeah. All right. Well.
yeah, yeah, it's not like Zeke did anything wrong. Like he casted something on 2, but the fact that it wasn't a creature is kind of the reason why he got in that situation in the first place.
I think if Cody had played a 2 drop that could get volt charged, I think he'd be
Oh
still
yeah,
on his
yeah,
way here. So stranding the volt charge was pretty huge because like that was his turn 3 play. That was his interaction. That was his way to
yeah,
not fall behind, and Cody had the exact creature that cannot get volt charged.
yeah.
So
You don't even want to kill the crawling chorus. That doesn't even remove power from the
no,
board.
yeah, you absolutely do not want to do that. Yeah, so I see a Gataxian Raptor in his sideboard. I would be thinking about just siding that in just because blocks everything basically everything that he's seen so far, including like Cody's 4-drop. The indoctrination attendant.
Yeah, I mean the reason that the Raptor is so good is because it's just blocks everything, and even if your opponent tries to pump spell, you can just still trade with that creature most of the time.
Yeah. So he did opt to not side it in, but definitely something that would have my attention. I think if I'm trying to play a deck like his, I think I would just want it in my main deck a lot of the time, just to make sure I can get to the late game and take over.
Yeah,
That's one of the key cards for the blue decks. And I mean, if you have
yeah,
enough oil and proliferation, like if you have enough proliferation, it can be a quick win con too, attacking for like 3 regularly.
okay, so after getting a closer look at Cody's green, he just has like some good solid green. He has triple Vorak. He has 2 of the Slaughter Singer. He has
Okay.
double Incubation Sac, and he does in fact have the Spinoderm.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten the second. Was there a Slaughter Singer at that pack he opened before? No, I can't
Uh,
recall, but maybe you know. Obviously, there was something in that pack that pushed him into green rather than black.
there, there, there was not, but I think he just figured maybe that green was going to be a better fit
So
with what he had going
Zeke
on.
had a slow but keepable hand with 2 lands and a 2-drop he could play, the Scheming Aspirant, but he decided to mulligan. Maybe he just wanted something a little more consistent, just not like didn't want to risk not hitting his land drops. So this time he has a 3-lander. He has a Prophetic Prism, Pestilent Siphoner, and a Kaito. So he could have kept the 2-lander with a 2-drop, but figured if he doesn't draw lands, he basically doesn't get to play after that. So I keep. I think I'm not sure I would have 100% kept it, but maybe on the draw it's more keepable. A 2-lander.
Yeah,
Like he had a 2-lander with a 2-drop and stuff to do on 3 mana, but he decided to be a little safe. Just say, let me get a hand that I know will be functional, and he does have that at the very least. What's Cody holding over there?
Cody originally kept a hand of 1 land with a Dune Mover. He has drawn consecutive lands. If you were looking at my viewpoint, you could tell he was like intensely rubbing the top of his deck with his cursor, praying for a land,
He does
and
that.
he got it. And he got it. So he's gonna further his game plan. He's gonna play Armor Scrap Gorger. Ramp is especially good in this format.
Yeah, it was interesting because in the earlier match he opted not to keep a 1-lander with a dude mover, but he was on the play that game. So I think this being on the drama is decision a little easier, or made him feel a bit more comfortable about it, getting to see the extra card. So
Yeah, the the difference between draw and play definitely makes differences in what hands are keepable and what hands are not.
yeah, Annex Sentry is like we see, like like we talked about earlier, just a premium card here, and he gets to play
Yeah,
4 mana worth of spells. And Zeke, he mulliganed because didn't want to miss land drops, but now he has only lands in hand. So not where he wants to be here in this all important game 3 of this death match.
so Kaido will come down. He needs to just deploy a 2/2 so he can block. Unfortunately, the
Yeah.
Flensing Raptor will make it, so Kaito is still gonna get killed.
Yeah, now, I mean, he has a Surgical Bay in play that he could sack. He has another one in hand, but he's going to need to catch up real fast and, not just catch up, but take over here. Yeah, so Kaito came down, made a 2/2.
Yeah,
Not exactly how you want to use that card, but didn't have much of a choice there.
yeah. So Cody's just gonna go wide. The opponent is stumbling a bit, so you take advantage of it.
Yeah, with just lands in hand, he's basically needs to hope the top of his deck has several important cards in a row. So he's trying to mesmerizing dose at the very least, something he can deploy this turn, probably on the Flensing Raptor being the biggest threat. Yeah, okay. So step one of not falling extraordinarily far behind was to either play a blocker or interact. So he's done that. What are Cody's options here for the turn?
Well, he's gonna start off by playing a prophetic. He has prophetic prism and a contagious Vorak. Probably will just start off by playing a prophetic prism to see if he draws something more relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, like Cody's attacks are not great here. I mean, like he can attack with Doom Mover. That's about it.
You can attack with the armor scrap gorger, but I
Oh,
don't know if you want to trade that. Well, actually, no, you can't because there's no cards in the graveyard.
he might. Yeah. He might want it for mana. Also, like even if he could make it a 3/3, he might just want it to for mana for the time being. He does have a Mirex now in play, which is a potential mana sink. Right, here's the Vorak.
Yeah, okay. So instead, he's just gonna decline, make that thing a 3/3.
Sounds like he's going to attack with it then. Yep.
Uh, you you probably take the trade for the 3/3. You do need. I know Zeke doesn't have a creature in hand, but any creature kind of can really stonewall this field.
Yeah. Okay. So he's drawn a Rat King here, which can trades with the Vorak. Maybe he finds a Blight Belly Rat if he's lucky. No. Okay. So unfortunately, there was some interaction there that ended up on the bottom. Volt Charge and a Whisper of the Dross ended up on the
Oh,
bottom there. And even
Cody's drawn a really.
yeah.
Cody's drawn a gross card. Indoctrination Attendant just kind of fizzles this mesmerizing dose.
Yep. Indoctrination strike. It strikes again. It's kind of been like an MVP here in the feature matches the last few weeks. Just showing everything it can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can pick up your for Mirrodin cards. It can pick up your lockdown creature, like we see here. It can pick up an incubation sac that has run out of oil tokens. It can pick up a land and like pseudo ramp you if you don't have one. If you don't have a land in hand, so it just does it really does it all. Honestly, again, a card we've talked about. It's just gone up and up in everyone's estimation as the format has gone on. So we see it again in action here. And it's going to get something into the red zone profitably here. Probably the attendant itself. Oh,
Okay.
let's go for
Send
the
the
Doom
Doom
Mover.
Mover to this guy's.
Yeah, he has a more or less clean attack with the indoctrination anyway. So he said, why don't I pump up the creature that can't attack at all? So let's see how. Okay, so Cody, I was gonna say let's see how frisky he gets with his attacks here, but the answer is very frisky.
Yeah, I guess Zeke is just like I'll take the value trades. I'll take the 9 damage. It's still not that much that threatening, but
And another
more
Vorak here,
creatures
yeah.
keep coming. Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking like it's getting out of control here. At 8 life, facing down, potentially 7 attackers, and he's drawn a Mirror Convert, which is just another body to put in the way here. I think he's going to sack his land first, see if he can find something slightly more interesting. So this would have been good about 3 turns ago before he fell behind on board the infectious inquiry to draw 2 cards. But now it looks like he's effectively, yeah, he's dead. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
here.
just so many 2-for-1s on Cody's board, like the double Vorak, the NX Sentry, the Attendant, basically 2-for-1.
Yeah,
Could even
he
say
took
3-for-1
yeah.
essentially.
Oh, here I had that too. Yeah, so he took a pretty very he took a safe mulligan, like just made sure that he wasn't going to be stumbling on mana, but ended up getting too much mana here. As we saw. So congratulations to Cody after taking a loss in the first feature match, comes back with the victory here and wins the death match to stay alive. So congratulations to Cody and thanks everyone.